Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. I hope you have some fun today. I'm in Dallas at Investor Fuel. I want to teach as many U.S. investors, U.S. business owners, U.S. Entrepreneurs, U.S. franchisee owners, and U.S. 1099 income earners how you can save taxes legally with the Spendthrift Trust. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It's been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions, and it's as legal can be. It came from England way back when King Henry VIII, that famous king who chopped off his wife's head, said, "Hey, I'm done murdering it, ladies. I'm going to start my own church, the Church of England, so I can divorce people." He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went back to the 12th century of the Magna Carta and said, "Oh, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law." It came from England to the colonies while we were still part of England. The law firm I work on behalf of inherited a trust that's going to turn 336 years old in 2026, before we were a country. Our current tax structure went into effect February of 1913 in the super rich families of 1913. The Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, and the Kennedys made sure they could save taxes. Guess what? They can save taxes, we can save taxes. Hi, my name is Sally Gimmon, and I'm the owner of www.thetrustisyou.com. My true story is I became a real estate investor in 2018. In 2019, with my mentor, I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties nationwide, paid off all my debt, had $50,000 in my bank account, and everyone thought I was a rock star. If you remember a Super Bowl commercial, you're not a rock star. I wasn't. I didn't realize my tax bracket went from 22% to 24%, and on April 4th, 2020, middle of COVID, my CPA called to congratulate me and tell me that now that my tax bracket was 24% tax bracket, I owed the federal government $94,000 in short-term capital gains. I had only $50,000 saved. That's not a good place to be. So I took the time during COVID to research how the rich save taxes. I started both my business and Beneficial Spendthrift Trust in September of 2020 and started teaching in my Phoenix real estate group how other investors get to save taxes on all profits. Now I run my own business. I am still a representative of the law firm that was started 78 years ago by a Harvard Law professor. In 78 years, not a single trust has ever been audited. He wrote 5 separate trusts to save specific taxes. I'm only going to talk about 2 of them here. The Beneficial Trust is for all investors. You'll stop paying capital gains when you sell something at a profit. So short-term capital gains are just like federal income taxes, between 10% to 37%, and affect you when you wholesale, fix and flip, do auction houses, tax liens, maybe you're selling crypto, maybe you're an options trader, or maybe you're a Forex investor. Long-term capital gains are more than a year and are either 15 or 20% when you sell your business, sell an investment property, or a baseball card. Second tax you'll never again pay is interest income taxes. If you're a passive investor, if you're in mutual funds, if you're in a REIT, if you're doing subject to real estate, if you're doing the BRRRR strategy. I personally have 12 notes where I'm the paper on the house. I'm the bank of Sally. People pay me their mortgage. Maybe you're doing creative financing, seller financing, or Forex investors. Yes, Forex investors, you get taxed twice. Capital gains and interest income taxes, you need to know about the Beneficial Spendthrift Trust. The third tax you'll save, dividend income taxes. So if you're in the stock market, you're a day trader, you're doing futures trading, you're doing commodities trading, or you're living off of dividends, you're going to save taxes. One of my clients, he's 70, his wife is 68. I saved them over $78,000 in dividend income taxes per year. And also, we're going to stop the IRMA surcharge on their Medicare. If you're over 65 and on Medicare, and if you're single or if you're married, every October, the IRS goes back 2 years and checks all 1040 tax returns and adds everything together. How much you gain from Social Security, how much you gain from wages, how much you gain from your pension, how much you took from a 401k withdrawal, how much you're doing from a SEP withdrawal, maybe how much you paid capital gains, interest income taxes, dividend income taxes, rental income taxes, or royalty income taxes. It affects your Part B and D of Medicare. He had no idea that his wife was paying over $684 per each of them per month. I got to get it down to $185 that everyone pays on Medicare, and besides saving dividend income taxes, they don't have to pay the IRMA surcharge. The fourth tax you'll save, rental income taxes. Yes, real estate investors, you can move a property with cost averaging into the trust. Yes, you can move a property with depreciation in the trust. Rental income taxes are taxed just like federal income taxes, between 10% to 37%. And it affects you if you have short-term rentals like Airbnb, vacation rentals. Maybe you have 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 doors. Maybe you're in multifamily, apartment buildings, or you're doing Airbnb arbitrage. Besides saving you taxes, keeps your information completely private, and I can't stop you from being sued, but all lawsuits become frivolous and go away. And the fifth tax you'll save is royalty income taxes. So if you have talent or if you have NFTs, they're taxed a little bit less. Still 7 different layers, just like federal income taxes, but they're between 10% to 35%. So if you're an actor, an actress, a musician, maybe you're an author, an artist, you have NFTs, you have copyrights, patents, or intellectual property, you'll stop paying royalties. Robin Williams, a late great actor, started the Spendthrift Trust. It goes from generation to generation. Now his 3 adult children pay no royalties on all his works. I just watched Mrs. Doubtfire a few weeks ago, and it's still a great movie. That's the Beneficial Trust for all investors in the United States to stop paying taxes on profits. Now let's switch gears and go to the Business Trust. If you are making 1099 income, I cannot help W-2 income earners, but if you make at least $100,000 in 1099 income, you will save 5 figures in taxes year after year, generation after generation. That's going to include 90% on federal income taxes and no longer pay state income taxes in 43 states. I'm right now in Dallas. They don't have state income taxes. So to give you an example, I helped a local pizzeria in Charlotte. They were making about $18,000 per month, $160,000 per year with 2 locations. That's gross. Saving 90% on federal taxes, no longer paying state income taxes. For a full year, they got to save $34,568. They can use this money to put back into their business. They can buy and pay off their mortgage. They can buy a new vehicle. They can give to their favorite charity. They can take their family on a well-deserved vacation, or they can save retirement. So what they did in 2024, they opened up a 3rd location. In 2025, they opened up a 4th location. When they retire, they're going to leave 2 pizzerias to 1 adult child, 2 pizzerias to another adult child. There's no inheritance tax. And then the adult children will continue to save federal and state income taxes. And if they want to open up their more franchise it, that's completely on them. I know this sounds too good to be true, so I have a free masterclass at www.thetrustisyou.com. If you want more information or want to talk to me, again, the link is www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. Both those links are in my profile. My goal, I'm not trying to crow, but my 2025 taxes, I didn't pay capital gains on the 3 properties I wholesaled. I have a crypto bot between Ethereum and Bitcoin. Don't pay taxes on that. I have 12 notes. At that time, I only had 5 seller financing houses. That's interest income taxes. I have 3 rentals, which is rental income taxes. I paid 0 in taxes. With the Business Trust, I'm in North Carolina. I got to save 92% on my federal income taxes, and I do not pay North Carolina state income taxes. Now, listen to this. In Wade County, where I live, we have food tax. When you go to the grocery store, you pay 2%. Well, if you buy bad food, soda pop, chips, ice cream, candy, you pay 7%. They're trying to shame us into eating better. I'm not giving up my Breyers mint chip ice cream. I'll pay the 7% on that. So I'm not tax-free. I'm just saving a lot of money. Again, learn the secret of the rich. Stop paying taxes if you're a real estate investor. If you're an investor, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, a franchisee owner, or a 1099 income earner. This is legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B, and it's been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 different occasions. What do you have to lose? Nothing other than learning the truth. Take care. Have a beautiful St. Patrick's Day, and don't drink and drive. Take care. The truth. Take care. Have a beautiful St. Patrick's Day, and don't drink and drive. Take care.